Hello, hello, it's Tash and Ro.
Welcome to or welcome back to
It's Saturday.
your personal self-care pod where you can escape the work week and unwind with your two besties.
No matter what day of the week it is, but for us, it's Saturday.
All right, back by popular demand. Welcome back, JJ Estefanous, to the pod.
Hi guys. Oh my god, thank you so much for having me back.
Oh my
Gosh,
gosh.
thank you for coming and making the trek over here.
Such a trek.
We have a wide range of topics to discuss, you
Oh my
guys.
God, what are we talking about?
I know, from toxic relationships to friendship breakups. We even have some Saturday suggestions or advice that they want to ask you about.
Okay.
Yes. And instead of like an interview style episode, we're just gonna talk about each topic, openly have a discussion, and yeah, let's just jump into it.
Wow.
Holy.
Oh my
The
gosh.
library is open.
We're
We're in
open
a
for
different setting.
business.
Sitting down
Yes,
on
yes.
a couch or feeling
It's
comfy.
cute, it's cozy, it's dark, it's moody, it's everything.
Everything.
Oh my god.
We
Okay, so give
love.
us some life updates since you were last on. Like,
Oh my
okay, I
gosh.
feel like a lot happened to you. You went to
Yeah.
Montreal. You like moved to Montreal.
I was testing it out to see if I could see myself like moving there. Month 1 was great. Month 2 was the Lord intervening and saying, "Don't you dare."
Hey,
It's not it.
Yeah, not it. Like, there's some, I mean, besides the cold and whatnot, just like a couple of things just happened that just rubbed me the wrong way. So I just wanted to like, if your body and your mind are telling
Yes.
you this is a no, listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I quickly skedaddled out of there. And as soon as I got back to Toronto, I knew I made the right decision.
okay, so you kind of just needed that to happen to
Yeah.
just kind of reinforce your big move, your like nice apartment, like you're setting roots now. So this
Right.
probably was just what you needed to let
Exactly.
you know Toronto's home.
Exactly. And as soon as I did go get back home, I think like maybe a month or two after, I found like my dream place that I got Sophie, my bestie realtor.
Wait, is this
yeah.
different than the one?
Yes.
Wait,
yes,
wait,
yes,
that was
yeah,
the
yeah.
dream spot. That spot was so nice.
No. Just wait. This new one's gonna be even better. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
kidding.
Volume 3. What up? What?
We're gonna have to like record there next.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Please.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you guys.
my
Thank you so
gosh.
much. Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a lot of good feedback since you were on the episode last
Oh my god, how did it
time.
do? Like get him off?
Honestly, guys, it was our most streamed
Yes.
episode of
Top.
2023.
What?
Our
Yes.
top episode, like when we had our Spotify Wrapped, it literally came up as number 1.
No way.
Yeah,
It was
people
like-
loved it.
It's so funny. It actually came up on mine too. Like I don't remember what it was, but it came up on mine. I was like, oh my god, this is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So what was the feedback when you were on it last time? Because we got a lot of good feedback. People
Dude.
were
Really?
like, they teared up,
Yes.
they laughed. Like it was all the emotions that we felt when we
Yeah.
recorded it.
Yeah.
Like everyone, the viewers really, really
Yeah.
connected with your
Oh
story.
my god.
And
Very
That
much.
makes me so happy to hear.
Yeah.
Like listen, it felt like such a safe space, like with the two of you, and the feedback that I got was super, super positive. My dad even, my dad had a listen, and we had some conversations
Oh
after.
my gosh.
But it only made us stronger, and a lot of. Thank God, no negative feedback. It was
No.
all positive, and I think people could just see that we were just like really having a great conversation amongst friends, type of thing.
Yeah.
people thought you were so funny. Everyone was
So
Funny?
funny.
yeah, people
Funny,
were like,
but
so
also
witty, like witty,
Yeah.
funny, like quick
with it,
Yes,
yeah.
quick with it.
But
Yeah.
also, like, you have the ability to go like really deep and
Yes.
just like you're not just like a surface kind of guy. Like you're
I
there
try
to like
not
talk
to.
about like all like everything, So I feel
Oh,
like
thank you.
everyone found
Well-
something relatable to what you're
Yes.
talking about.
I hope so. Well, I mean, thank you all, and thanks to the both of you for facilitating all that. So I hope we can give them a little bit more to
Let's-
chow down on.
We're ready.
I'm
for
hungry.
number
Right.
2.
Oh, are you hungry, babes?
I didn't eat dinner. I'm ready.
Girl dinner.
I might have been fasting until now.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's like jump into it. We have like so many different topics.
Okay.
I think right now, like, okay, so you said you moved to Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
Can you elaborate on why you moved to Montreal? 'Cause I think we know, but I'm like, was it for a boy? Was it for a career, for career purposes? What
It was for a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I was, optimistic, thinking, new dating pool, new this, new
Yeah,
that.
French boys.
Some French boys, yeah. some, like Montreal has some really amazing guys, but it is very much a small city.
Okay.
And, especially in the gay community, you got to really be careful where, you like who you go on a date with or who you engage with or who, even if you post a picture with someone, the second someone sees you two in a picture, the questions come up instantly.
Okay.
The shares, like, oh my God, are they seeing each other? Are they seeing each other?
And that
Like,
doesn't happen in Toronto.
oh, it happens all the time.
Oh, okay.
But at least you know what you get in Toronto. And I felt like in Montreal, it was like shell shocking to say the least, because like a couple things happened in such a short amount of time that I was like, okay, this is not for me. This is a little too close to home. Let me just, escape that. But yeah, the exploration, like, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I don't have any regrets or any like thoughts about, oh, like, what if I did move? Like, no, like I know I tried it, I did it. And I am so happy with my decision.
And that takes a lot of courage to just like, because you already had a lot of roots in Toronto. Like you had your friend group, you had your like condo that's so beautiful that you furnished. Like I feel like you had just almost finished like putting it together. And then it was like, you know what? I want to try something different. And now it felt like the right time. So good on you for like making that change.
Yeah. And to your point, I think that one of the biggest driving factors was actually my friend group.
Yeah.
You truly cannot put a price on family, chosen family.
Amen.
You really can't.
Yeah,
you
we
really
say it all the
can't.
time,
Like
honestly.
I had so many moments where I was like, I wish my friends were here. And some came to visit me. God bless them. Like I love them all. But just being away from them, knowing that they weren't like a drive, like a quick Uber away from me was sad. And I missed out on like some cute little milestone core memory things. So, but I will never make that mistake again. And prioritizing family and friends first is always going to be the way. Yeah.
There's literally no price on friendship, and I've learned this recently too. When you get older, like your friend group just gets smaller and smaller, and it's just like the quality friends that you have, and you really put effort into your friendships. And me and Faz always talk about this, like, oh, I wish we lived in a warmer place. I wish we moved to California.
Yeah.
And then we always think, I'm like, but then all of our friends, like, what are we going to do? Like, we're going to have kids one day, and then it's like, whose house are we going to go to with our kids? You know what I mean? So I think it's just something that we have to always recognize is, like, we're so freaking lucky that we have, like, we don't have family here. So, like, you guys are our family.
Right.
And
Right.
It's just so,
Exactly.
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. And being someone that used to live in California, and I went through this before, like I had my core group and family there, and I still keep in touch with them. Like you'll always find, like, this is a huge factor, like the friends and stuff like that. Obviously, the people that are in your life are going to stay in your life if there's effort on both parts.
That's just it.
And that's the biggest part of it. But, there are some friendships that are there for seasons. Some friendships are just there for even a quick moment.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And that's okay. And if you take away like the best part about it and just say, okay, you know what? I'm glad that I got this from you, like in terms of like the experience or the memory, or maybe you learned something, or you learned, okay, I now know that's what I don't want.
Yep.
Exactly.
I think that goes for friendships and relationships too. Right?
Very that.
Yeah.
I used to be so hard on myself when friendships didn't go, like if I had to end a friendship or friendships fizzled out, like I used to blame myself, like, oh, could I have done something to make it better, blah, blah. But I think having that perspective of like, sometimes friends are there for a specific reason. You have your party friends, you have your friends when you just moved to a new city and like you need to kind of have like that buffer friend before you like make your core group of friends. So like there's different friend groups and different people for different purposes. But have you, obviously people go through friendship breakups all the time, and I think
like the more you get older too,
honestly it's so hard, and you're at different points in your life, and someone that you grew up with, now you have to kind of break off because it's just not working anymore. And I find it's harder than relationship breakups sometimes.
oh my god, it's so much harder.
100%. I think it's a huge part of adulting, and it's the part that you don't want to have to go through. But you know what, we all get so busy in our day-to-days. We're trying to like build our careers, build our businesses, and sometimes you meet more people that are more aligned with your current path, and that's okay. It's I think the foundation relies on communication and understanding boundaries and expectations, but also don't like miss the red flags. Don't ignore them. You know,
what are some red flags that you would say?
Just like, I think effort and communication. I think you can tell right away when someone's lagging or not in it. Or like you're the one that's always putting in the effort, or you're the one that's always reaching out. Now, mind you, I have some friends, some of my best friends that, they admit it. They're like, JJ, I like, me, I'm not the best at reaching out, but damn well when you're gonna text me, I'm there, or whatever, whatever.
Yes.
So again, because that was communicated to me, I will never doubt that this person doesn't want to see me or doesn't love me or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
Setting those expectations clearly,
Yeah.
like for sure. I really respect that. Yeah.
No,
100%.
I 100% agree. And I think too, like sometimes too, you have like a friend from, let's say, a childhood friend. And I've gone through this recently, so I'm speaking about my experience. And sometimes you're holding on to that friendship just because they're a childhood friend.
There's history.
And there's that history there.
Yeah.
But then you're outgrowing that person and you've gone on different paths because you knew each other from childhood.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't mean now you're going to be the same people.
You're
like,
different now.
You're now
You
a
are different
completely
now.
different person.
Yeah.
And sometimes people hold on to friendships just because of the length of time they've known that person.
Oh, yeah.
Not because of the actual friendship. And I've realized too, I'm like, me and Tash haven't known each other the longest out of all my friends. I've known people
Right.
longer than her. She's known people longer than me.
Yes.
But I think it's the quality of the friendship.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we met and we like click instantly.
Instantly,
We-
And the
Yeah.
quality time we have, like we see each
I was
other,
gonna say,
like
yeah, your quality time.
quality time together is like
Yeah.
unmatched. Like some people you see a few times a year. I'm like, I see you once a week for like 4 hours a week minimum.
yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Minimum.
For sure.
I'm up in your business.
So I-
But that's okay. But that's so normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's also just like a realization. I'm like, I've had to let go of some childhood friends, like people that I've been so close with, because I was almost holding on to that friendship, trying to make excuses for that friendship because they were there for so long.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was really it. They were just there for longer.
Yeah.
That was really the only
100%.
I find for me with some friendship struggles that I've had, and maybe you guys have experienced this too, sometimes I find there are friends like when they grow with you, but they're not like necessarily like happy for your successes. And I feel like sometimes there's a bit of like jealousy and like resentment. And then it's like, how do you navigate that? You know?
That's very interesting because
Yeah, that's a good one.
I will honestly admit there was a time years ago that many years ago that I couldn't be happy for friends of mine that were doing so well.
Okay.
Because I come from like an upbringing where I was often compared to my cousins, to anybody in the class. And I would be told like, you have to be the best, you have to be the best, you have to be the best. And ingraining that competitiveness in me.
Okay.
And so when I noticed and I caught, like I like reflected and I was like, what is wrong with me? What, like, there is no reason you cannot be happy for your friend. It doesn't affect you at all. And I realized that as soon as I changed my mindset and my perspective on it and everything, and I was genuinely happy for my friends, like winning, it came back to me, or like my wins started to become a lot more, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, have those conversations and reflect and be very self-aware because jealousy is a disease, babe.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's who you want to tell that good news to. Like when you get news,
Yes.
who are you calling? 'Cause
Yes.
that's important. If you're not calling that person to tell them that good news, that means they're not a good
Or who are you
friend.
afraid to call? Be like, oh, like I'm just got this promotion, but I know like so and so is struggling with this. So like,
Exactly.
should I tell them? Should I not tell them? It's
Yeah.
like, dude, if they're like your circle, your people,
Yes.
like whether or not like what they're going through, like they're gonna be happy for your wins no matter what.
Trust and believe. I
Yeah.
literally had this conversation with my girlfriend. I was like, when people ask me like, JJ, what are you doing? What's new? Like whatever. I always keep it general. I'm like, oh, like things are going really well. Like busy, super busy, same old, working with some cool clients. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't want to get into detail because I don't want to come off like I'm either showing off or bragging or this and this and that. But my girlfriend said this. I'm like, first of all, it's me.
Yeah.
So why the hell would you not tell me your biggest wins? You know what I mean? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be more mindful of that. And I'm going to be more open, at least with like my core people. Because I know there's no evil eye there or anything like that.
Well, I was just about to say, that's so funny. You took the words out of my mouth. I think growing up Middle Eastern, there's this like, my mom always engraved in me, don't tell people that.
Yes, don't tell people.
Like more
Oh
like
my
be
God,
humble.
like, if you're
like,
happy, don't post about it. Don't like be bragging about
That's
your
so
wins.
interesting.
Because there's
Yeah.
the evil eye, and then they're gonna take that away from you. So like,
Oh.
I grew up with that thinking of like, oh my God, let's say like I got, I don't know, an award of some kind. I'm not gonna like.
you are
take a
so humble,
picture.
man. You're so fucking humble.
Humility is cute.
No, because
Yeah.
it's like you grew up with that saying of like,
Yeah.
oh, be careful, like don't post that.
Totally,
like,
totally.
Someone's gonna say this, and they're gonna
Yeah.
the evil eye, let
Yeah,
it rest.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like this has
Yeah.
just been ingrained in us, and we're like,
Yeah.
so humble. Like, don't tell people.
Meanwhile, I feel like sometimes like in fucking like white people culture, it's like, yeah, like I think I want to apply to med school, and everyone's like, oh my god, amazing! Like you want to apply there, like good for you. It's like you haven't even applied, you haven't gotten in, you haven't got a graduation yet. But it's like I feel like it's kind of reversed. It's like, oh my god, like you want to do that before you even didn't even do anything yet. Like why are we celebrating?
No,
but honestly, I'm trying to apply that a little bit more. Like move in silence a little bit more. Like head down, work, and whatever. And I think, I don't know, I think we're in this culture of oversharing in general, and I'm trying to dial back on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Even for my own like mental health and whatnot.
No, I agree too.
Yeah.
What about like muting and muting people, unfollowing people? I have been on a cleanse recently. Like sometimes
I'm a muter.
I met you at a resort like 5 years ago. I don't need to follow you. You know what I mean? Like,
a good Instagram, nothing feels better than a nice Instagram purge. Yeah, you go through and you're like, wait, we haven't interacted in like 3+ years. I'm like, maybe I just need to unfollow you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or
like
at least mute you if I'm like.
At least mute.
Yeah. I mean, I think people get, but you know what? People take that shit personally, especially if they notice. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not personally, I'm not big on muting or unfollowing unless like I truly have nothing more to say or to give to this person. But I think if you can't tell this person to their face, hey, I'm just not into it or whatever, then like you might as well.
I think for me, it's like if I see you out in a public setting and I'm not gonna at least say hi to you, but I follow you, then it's kind of like.
Then it's weird.
Then it's like. Oh, that's weird.
Why am I following you?
Right.
I don't say hi to you if I see you out, so it's kind of.
Am I just a number in
those
the
like
followers?
ghost followers.
Like I'm like,
yeah.
Well, he ever actually gone? Sometimes I'll go and I'll like be like, oh, you know, I haven't really seen this person, talked to this person in a while. I go to unfollow them and I'm like, oh, they already unfollowed me. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah. Well.
Boom. There we go.
Yeah.
It's all good.
And I think a lot more people are doing that too. So I don't take offense to it if I ever notice.
Sometimes I feel like feeds just get so oversaturated.
Totally.
It's just like,
totally. Let go and let God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go with
amen.
grace.
Amen.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. No, I love it.
Okay, speaking of friendships though, because I want to know, how would you break up with a friend? Like what would be your advice to someone
This is tough.
that is going through a friendship breakup or on the verge?
I think
like,
there's
what
like
would
two
you do?
different ways. You can either like speak. It depends the level of friendship. There are some friends that you can let fizzle out.
Right.
Like they keep asking you to hang out, you bail or you don't hang out with them,
Yeah.
and that kind of just is like they get the memo. They don't
Right.
ask you to hang out anymore. But if it's like a long-term friend and you're like, I need to set a boundary, then something needs to have happened to have like had like a blowout maybe that you have like a conversation.
Yeah.
But like I know for me, like there was a friendship breakup that I knew that I had to kind of not see that person anymore, because if I did, then I would get trapped back into the cycle, if that makes sense. So I needed to almost have closure on my own without having the closure with the person.
Yeah.
Like
I knew
physically in person, you
physically,
mean?
yeah. Even
Okay.
though like I would do it with most people, this person specifically, I was like, if I see them, I'm just gonna get like roped back into this like cycle of like toxicity.
Yes.
So I just almost had to like cut myself off, if that makes sense.
100%.
Just depends on the person, I think.
Yeah, depends on the situation.
Yeah. But it's hard.
It's hard. I feel like friendship breakups, like you said, they're harder than relationship breakups.
Yeah, because there's so much history there. There's so many, I think, expectations, you know, of like how a friend should treat you or anything like that.
Yeah.
My thing is like if you can't have an honest and open conversation with your friend, whether it's over text or in person, you're not friends. Like you're not really friends. That's one thing. To your point about fizzling out, yes, like it can fizzle out, but what about, you don't know what the other person's thinking either. And like, is you not responding or is you not engaging back causing them to think even like something is deeper than that, or like how is their mental health doing based on these actions? I've always kind of like try to be mindful of that. Like how do your words or how do your actions affect someone? Because on the receiving end of that, it's like, oh damn, like this person's really just not into hanging out. That's so fine, but maybe tell me sooner so I don't
waste my time
and waste so much energy and
like make assumptions
thoughts.
and like go down that spiral.
Yeah, because you could be creating a different scenario completely. Then maybe it's just like, oh, like truly, like we're just not the same vibe, or I'm just not into it, or if it seems kind of forced. So yeah,
I don't even know what I would say in that situation. Like sometimes I feel like there's friends where I'm like, it's just.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
It's just not,
if it's just not worth it, then that's that too.
Like,
yeah.
It just depends on the level of friendship, but
totally.
Yeah, no, it's tough to be like, because with a
It is tough.
romantic one,
It's very tough.
like, I don't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
With a friend, it's like, I don't want to hang out with you
Yeah.
anymore, which is like way more personal.
Yeah.
It's like, I just don't like your personality. Or
Yeah, there's no like
Yes.
physical, like
Yeah.
sexual. It's just
Yeah.
straightly like
Yeah,
friendship.
and take what I said with a grain of salt, because like I'm very guilty of like, you know, sometimes just hoping it fizzles out so I don't hurt the person's feelings.
I guess it
Exactly.
depends too, like how much do you need closure? How much
Yeah.
do you think that other person needs
Closure.
closure? With a capital C.
Closure. This is a great topic.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Do you need closure or do you not? And I am learning you don't need it all the time.
No.
You really don't. What is going to change from the outcome?
If you have closure versus
If you have, do you need to have the last word? I used to be the person that wanted to have the last word so I can make someone feel stupid, because I'm great with my words.
Yeah.
And in the most respectful way possible, of course. But say, for example, a guy kind of flips the switch on you, and you're like, well, why? I literally didn't do anything wrong. I bent over backwards, no pun intended, with like for this person,
what did I do?
and was nothing but kind. And then for them to suddenly flip the switch, it took every bone in me to not like reach out and be like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, did I do
Yeah.
something?
I think this comes with maturity and with age. I think me in my early 20s, like needed closure. Like me in my late 20s now into my early 30s, I'm like, I'm good.
I'm
like,
good.
you know what? Like I got more
Yeah.
important things going on. Like I don't always
100%.
need it.
I don't
100%.
always need it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. And sometimes closure can be confusing, because then it's like, do you want to open things back up? Like if, let's say it's not closure, like
Or is it the wrong time?
Is it the wrong time? Like you might go to get closure, and then now you're just more confused. Like you're just like, what's
Right.
going
Yeah,
on? Like,
Right.
It just
Are
reopens everything up again.
reopens
You're
up.
like,
Right.
you're like,
Oh,
end
yeah.
of the conversation. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah. And like think about it too. It's like think of the time that you want to establish closure, because if you're doing it in the heat of the moment, you might say things that you don't mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might say things that will hurt even more, and that's not your intention. So also like just taking a step back, letting some time pass,
Yep.
think about it, reflect, get everything you really want to say without any emotional knives.
Yeah. You know what else kind of works too? Sometimes it's like, you know, they say like write a letter to that person, but then like
Oh yeah.
don't like actually give it to them. Like that way you just like write out like all your
Yes.
emotions, everything you'd want to say to them
Yes.
without actually like
Yeah.
physically saying it to them. And I feel like that can be like a form of your own kind of closure as well.
100%.
Yes. Or even
100%.
like texting in a note and then reading it back, you're like, oh, I sound crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? You draft something and you read it the next day and you're like,
Like,
whoa,
fuck. Yeah.
what's that?
I'm like, wait, can I edit this? Can I edit this? Can I edit this?
OMG.
Got it and send this.
Unsend.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
super embarrassing.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay, what about love bombing? Have you ever experienced that?
Oh
my
yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When someone
I feel like I wasn't in the dating game when this was around, so I'm like trying to think of if I ever was love bombed, but I feel like that wasn't a term back in the days.
But now that you're aware of it,
Ancient.
I'm like, damn, a lot
Yeah.
of love bombs going on. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
It's just like when someone tells you like, oh, you're the best this, or you're just so amazing and this and this and that, but your actions are really not aligning
lining up with that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely I have my bullshit meter on.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
And when it really goes off, I'm just like, all right, bro, like, you know, fair enough. Like you probably say that to all the boys, but I'm not gonna you know what? Show me.
Show me.
You know what? I've definitely been, now that you're talking and saying this, I've definitely been love bombed before.
Yeah.
For sure.
What about love bombing and friendships? I feel like sometimes that happens too. Like if you meet a friend and they're like too much, like, oh my god,
this
I love
is
you so much,
so
I love you so much,
true.
and
Oh
you're
my God,
like,
red flag.
you're like, whoa,
Or like,
whoa.
we should hang out. And then they never actually follow through to like, hang
Yeah.
out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that a form of friendship love bombing?
Yeah, I feel like
It's a
friendship
form.
love bombing hasn't been talked about, but I
Bombing.
feel like it's you're like
Friend
sometimes
bombing?
like, whoa,
Yeah.
Friend bombing.
too hot, too quick.
Yeah. No, I very much believe that is a thing.
Yeah.
For sure. But I mean it has to be mutual.
Yes.
Like when I first met you guys, or when we really started getting close, it wasn't a question. I'll love bomb you all day, but like I mean it.
Yes,
No, your
yes,
compliments
that's
are always
different.
genuine.
And my
That's
actions, well, I'm here.
Oh
Like,
my God.
Like, you know what I
Hello.
mean? Like
Yes.
I any chance to hang out with you guys, I'm in for.
Man's
so.
drove from Manitic, guys, to Orleans.
No, he trained from Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
And then he went from Manitoba.
Oh yeah, from
Yeah.
Toronto.
God damn. No, we love you for that.
I love you guys.
Let's talk about getting older because soon we'll all be in our 30s.
I'm about to turn
Ma'am.
30.
Huh?
Wait, are you 94?
I'm young.
No, you're my age.
No, I'm none of your age. I'm not even gonna disclose the number on this public forum.
We're same.
Yes.
But let's talk about getting older because honestly, I feel like, I don't even know if you guys agree, but your 20s are kind of overrated. At least your early 20s.
Yes.
Like, I feel like people are like, oh, it's the best years of your life and this and that. It's like
30s.
so chaotic. Like, at least I had no money. Didn't know what was going on. Was making really poor decisions, like in friendships and relationships, like in everything.
Yeah.
And looking back, I'm like, who was that?
Who
was
was
she?
that?
And
Who
now
is
that I'm in my
she?
30s,
Do we know her?
I'm like, yeah, do we know her? And now
Yeah.
it's like, I feel like the 30s are the year that we're
30s
thriving.
is like calm. I'm not even in my 30s, but I feel like I'm almost there.
You're almost there.
Oh my
Honorary.
god! Should we do a RuPaul's Drag Race moment when they tell what would you tell young Tash and what would you tell young Ro? Like, I think we should do that in a bit.
Oh my
Yes.
I want to hear what you have to say. I'm sorry
Yes,
for cutting
yes.
you off.
No. I just feel like, like 20s was so chaotic. It was like a lot of like high emotions, up and down. You don't really like, you're going through friendships like quickly. You're going through relationships like so fast.
Yeah, I feel like your ultimate like people pleaser is like at its extreme. At least for me, it was.
Oh
Hondo.
my god, for me it was.
Yeah.
It's overrated. And I honestly feel like, and 30s are great, don't get me wrong, but then I'm also like, okay, wait, what's the 40s going to be like? I feel like that's
40 is
gonna,
the new 30, babe.
right?
For
I feel
sure.
like that's going to be
30.
fire.
For sure. I feel like our generation now is actually aging in a weird way. I feel like life is now a little more prolonged. Like, we have more opportunities.
Yeah.
And we're hungrier and we want more life experiences.
Yeah.
So like, for example, Parenthood for our demographic now is like something that's a little not as early as as it used to be.
I think it's much later on now, honestly.
You know what I mean?
Like when
It's like
my
a
parents
decade
had me,
later.
A decade almost.
Decade,
Yeah.
Like I think about like my parents having me, they would have already had 2 kids, and it's like they were babies when they had kids,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Right.
you're still developing. You're a kid trying to parent a kid. It's just so intense. Whereas
Absolutely.
Now, like, people are having like kids like late 30s, you know, like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
late 30s. So
Yeah, because you want to do more. You have the means to do more. So like, why not put it back a little bit?
What's the rush?
What is the rush? I mean, obviously, I understand for women, it's like there's a bit of a clock
There's
to
a
it.
little bit of a rush.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah.
we're not
But I
rushing
mean,
it
if
too
you're
much.
healthy, if you're like, doing everything that you need to be doing, I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for that, but
Yeah.
but my stepmom had my little younger sister at 40.
Damn.
Yeah. It's obviously very scary. And I think she ended up having to do a C-section, but it's whatever works for you and in your time.
In your time.
100%. But
Absolutely.
shout out to women that are doing the good work like that, because
God is a woman.
Well, yeah.
God is a
Without
woman.
women, there would be no men. Period.
Yeah. Period.
But no, for real. Like, I would really love to know. Let's start with you, Tash.
Oh boy.
What would you tell young Tash?
Honestly, I would tell her to smarten.
What advice would you give her?
I would tell her to smarten the fuck up because she was a little bit out of control, and like, granted, like some fucked up shit happened that like made me spiral a little bit, but I wish like in my early 20s that I just like took some things a little bit more seriously, and I didn't like party as much and didn't like take too many things for granted. I wish I had more like control. I would tell her to make her fucking bed every day because that was really hard for me to do.
Yeah.
But I also like cliche, like I would want to tell her like, I know things are crazy now and things are really hard right now because I was going through a lot of stuff, and to just like believe in myself more and have like a bit more confidence.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because it took me a while to like trust myself and like get the confidence that I have now, that I still work on like every day. But like, I used to be afraid to literally like socialize. Like, I wasn't like super social like back in the day, and like
No
getting into the
way.
sorority like really helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And then I got a little out of control with it. But just to like trust myself, trust the process, and yeah, don't take things too for granted.
I love that.
I love that. And what about you, Ro?
Okay, mine's a little bit different than yours because I feel like my younger self, I was like trying really hard to get into med school. So I was like very like book focused. I was like very stressed all the time about like school, like what I was going to do with my life, like all this stuff. So I think I would just tell myself to like enjoy it a little bit more, and maybe like don't be so stressed about the future. Just enjoy the present and like just enjoy like being goofy and silly and like being young, because I feel like too, like if you ask my parents, they always say like I was like a 40-year-old trapped in a 20-year-old's body.
Oh
like
my
I always
God.
act,
No
like,
way.
I always
Really?
acted like the older
Well,
person.
girl, you're fun now.
Yeah, you real fun.
I'm really fun. But back then I was like very serious. I was very like da 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 da, and like I feel like if looking back, I'm like, okay, just relax. Like everything's gonna happen how it's supposed to happen.
That's just it too,
You're,
right?
you're gonna find the job that you were meant to find. Like just enjoy the time that you have, and don't always be so high strung and like stressed about the next step. So I think that's what I would tell myself.
I love that.
Yeah.
We're so opposite. But we ended up the same. Look at us.
And here you are.
But I
Yeah.
think that's important to think like, yeah, you can have either, like you could be in your early 20s and be either way.
You know what's interesting too?
Yeah.
I feel like too, because we're both like work hard, play hard, and I think it's because you worked so hard, so now you also want to like play hard, and I like played so hard, so now I want to work hard but also play hard. So it's kind of like
Yes.
that balance of the two.
Yes, exactly. What about you, JJ? What would you tell yourself?
Well, funny enough, I think I'd be a balance of the two of you.
It's like, I'm
You're
No,
kidding.
yeah,
I'm
because
playing.
I was a social bitch for sure. Like
Yeah.
I
Was?
socialized. I went to still. I went to every party. Well, actually, sorry. I was cooped up
You got
until I
invited
was
to every
18.
party.
No, like I was locked in basically and locked up for like until I was about 18, and then I hit the ground running when it came to like socializing, because I wasn't really allowed to have a social life or anything before then. But what I would tell my younger self would be. Ooh, okay.
Like this is your question.
Yeah,
Like,
sorry.
No, it's
No,
okay.
it's-
Take your
yeah.
time.
I think it would be don't doubt yourself. Know that you are someone that people like and want to be around, and you know, don't fight yourself internally and mentally, because that self-doubt and that lack of self-esteem was blocking your light and your energy for so long. And the second you start loving yourself and you make all the necessary changes that you want to, that's when your true energy will shine through, and that's what people will be attracted to.
Wow.
I love that.
I freaking love that so much.
Because there was a long period of doubt and low self-esteem,
Yeah.
and why aren't I good enough, and yeah.
I feel like that happens so often for people. Like, what's going on in our culture to make us like doubt ourselves so much?
Social media.
But we weren't even like, I felt like we were lucky, you
We
guys.
were.
Like, we were so lucky. I didn't have
The
Instagram
cusp.
till I was in university.
Yeah, the cusp of social media.
I had
like,
a Facebook wall. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I had. But like, I feel like kids nowadays too, like, it's just so much harder. It honestly makes me
Yeah.
really nervous for like
The younger gens.
our younger generations, like what's going to even be available like when we have kids. Like, it's a lot. It's overwhelming.
So you shouldn't have access to this many people all at once.
The world
The world.
is
Yeah.
at your
And
fingertips.
this many people shouldn't have access to you.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
That's
too
deep.
much.
That's a lot.
That's deep.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see like these kids on TikTok and shit. It's like,
Well, younger kids are
why?
getting famous quicker. You know,
Yeah.
and nothing wrong with that, but like there's got it.
Nothing
to
wrong.
each his own. Nothing wrong, but like that's why you have your parents and your
Yeah.
guidance and your mentors and this and this and that. But it can be a trap, and we've seen
Yeah,
time
literally,
and time.
like Amanda Bynes,
Yes.
like Demi Lovato, like Selena Gomez, like they all have had Justin Bieber, like have so much struggle with all of that.
yeah.
But even just like the young kids nowadays are like putting on so much like product on their face, like retinol and all this stuff, like at a young age.
I'm
and you're
like,
like,
that's not good for you.
what is going on? Like
You're too
are a
young.
10-year-old.
It's gonna have the opposite
Why
effect.
does
Right.
a 10-year-old have a 10-step like skincare routine? Like it's just
Right.
like chill out. Like I didn't know what any of
my
this
God.
stuff was.
The younger gens want to grow up so quickly,
Yes.
right? But
It's like, be a kid. Go play in the sand.
Yeah.
Like
Pray
Go
for
be
the
dirty,
youth.
like
Yeah.
literally.
Go get
go get dirty.
period.
Yeah, go run around in the dirt. Do something.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, talking about like confidence too, and like not having that self doubt. Let's talk about like being alone and like being comfortable in our own skin.
Yeah.
And, like, when exactly did you guys feel like you were comfortable in your own skin, or do you still continue to work on that every day, like I do?
Yep.
Every day.
Yeah, there's obviously a difference with like being alone and then being lonely. And I think
Yes.
too, like, well, I was always the person that was always in a relationship growing up. So I like bounced around from boyfriend to boyfriend, and I wasn't the best at being alone. But I think after finding Farzad and like we met each other at such a young age, and we started dating like I was 21, and so it's like we grew up together.
My gosh, you had your whole 20s together.
All
Oh
of
my
our
God.
20s.
Y'all are literally like,
So we like kind of grew into one
Goals.
person. Like we grew up together in a way, but then it was almost finding our own paths within that. Like, okay, yes, we spent all this time together. We're so similar, but like I'm my own person and you're your own person. And I think we had to kind of set that boundary of like, I need my own alone time. I'm doing this.
Yes.
You're doing this. And
time with the boys, time with the
Yes,
girls.
exactly.
I don't
So
know how couples
important.
don't do
And
that.
I
Like,
love
hooked
being
at the
alone.
hip,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I love being alone. Like
No.
there's nights I'm like, I just want to be alone. He's like,
Yeah.
me too. And like we'll separate, and it's nice. Like,
Absolutely.
you know,
You have all
Yeah.
these rooms to do
But
it.
you're communicating. Yeah. But you're communicating that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
think it's healthy to
So
like
healthy.
be okay being alone, like in a relationship like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
when Matt wants to go watch football, it's like
Go off.
put on
Do
reality
it.
TV. Am I gonna get a Baconator? Am I not gonna get a Baconator? Like I can do whatever I want. Like,
Yeah.
eat whatever I want, do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
100%.
nice.
Totally. Yeah. I think for me, I this has been something that I've been a lot more like cognizant of, and it wasn't until recently that I got comfortable being alone, like alone time. You know,
yeah, because
like,
you're around people a lot.
I'm around people a lot,
Yeah.
and when I hit burnout, you know, it was like, okay, well now I'm not only am I burning out, but I'm also cheapening out the engagements that I'm having with new people or in the future or with my friends or something, right? So, you know, learning to say no sometimes for your own benefit, having that quiet time, that alone time, but also the feeling of loneliness, like where does that come from? Where does that stem from? You know, for me, it's like, well, like sometimes I'm around all my friends that are in couples, and I'll be like, well, damn, like now I feel like kind of lonely.
Okay.
But I need to remind myself, it's like, well, there's a reason. Like I refuse to settle, and I know myself, I know my worth, and I know what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
So even if it's dinner for one tonight, that's fine. Like there'll be plenty more opportunities and stuff like that in the future for dinner for two. But
And Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
you're good,
I was
you're
just
good.
saying, I think it's so much better too to like wait for the right person
Yeah.
instead of like jumping ship with someone and then being lonely in your relationship. Because I
yeah.
feel like people don't talk about that enough too. I feel like
that's so
there's
true.
a lot of lonely people in relationships.
relationships.
Absolutely. And I think people that are still growing, like I think for me, I'm finally the best version of myself, and that's why I am now ready, and I'm ready to give this JJ to someone, and hopefully that'll be the
Some
best
lucky
Yeah.
man.
from your mouth to God's ears, my love.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay,
Okay.
should we jump into some advice?
Yeah, we can jump into some advice.
Submitted by Saturdays.
Yeah.
Because
Oh
I'm
my
really
God.
excited about this. Like
Yeah,
we
we
got
have a
some
lot.
really good
Yes.
questions, and you haven't really seen these questions yet.
Yeah,
so
we haven't. We had the people like submit questions on Instagram, so we're just gonna read them out. We have them in front of us. Okay, this one is actually a really good one because I think it's really relatable. How do I support a friend during a breakup when they keep going back to their ex? That's a huge one.
We've all had that friend, and maybe we've been that friend
Yeah.
at some point.
Yes, I've definitely gone
Been that
through
friend,
this.
still that friend. Oh yeah, it's like
tough.
when do you decide that you can't have the same conversation 500 times?
Oh my God, I've been there for
But-
sure for people.
But you know what? Like at the end of the day, it's your friend. They know what's best for them. Even though you think you might know what's best for them, I think them knowing that you will still be there, you will still support them, and even if you are that person that they vent to, and you have the same story being vented about, you just have to be open and honest. Honest. Speak your piece within limits, within boundaries. Always speak your mind. Don't let them hear it from another party, because when your friend finds out that trust was either breached or that you're going around talking shit, and you told me everything was fine, so your words aren't aligning.
Yeah, that's important.
I think it's important too, like if you are frustrated with your friend and you're like the soundboard for them to like
Yeah.
vent to,
Yeah,
and
'cause
maybe
that's a lot for you to take
and maybe
on
It is.
sometimes.
maybe you
Yeah.
don't have the capacity and you're like, hey
Yeah.
girl, I'm going through some shit myself, like I can't be there for you, but as long as you communicate with them and
Communicate.
say, hey,
Communication.
like
Yeah.
you might be going through this, but like right now I have a lot going on with work, and I like maybe I'm not going to be there for you to just keep venting to, as long as you tell them that. Because I've definitely had situations situations where like this friend kept breaking up with their ex, then kept going back to him, then and it was like years of this. And I'm like, I can't just keep giving you this advice if you don't want to listen, and I can't make you break up with them.
No.
Right.
So all I can tell you is like, you know my piece. Like,
Right.
you know,
Yes.
you know how I feel.
Yes.
And that's what I would kept saying.
Yes.
You know how I feel.
Exactly.
Because I'm not
yeah.
going to keep saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I just,
Same too.
Yeah.
And then they eventually like kind of got the point, and I felt like they just started coming to me less over those like mundane fights, you know, that they were just constantly going to have. But then when
Right.
it was like the bigger fight or the bigger breakup, like the breakup, then like they know I would be there.
Of course.
But
As long as they know that you will be there, I think it's safe. But you're absolutely right. Sometimes you just gotta set a boundary.
Yeah.
that's okay.
For the sake of both your friendships, like for the,
Yeah,
of the friendship.
exactly.
You
You
know
don't
what I
want to
mean?
start hating your friend.
You don't want to start
like,
resenting them.
Yes,
You don't want to
exactly.
start like,
Be like, oh.
talking shit. Like, I really hope they break up.
exactly. Like, it's too much.
Yeah.
So,
Good question though.
Yeah, really good question.
Okay, next question. Okay, someone said that they feel like they're settling in their relationship right now. And what do you recommend they do? Do they stay? Do they go? Do they try to make it work?
Well,
What's going on?
The fact that they feel like they're settling is an eye-opening thought to unpack.
Okay.
Why do you feel like you're settling? Do you feel that, are you comparing to someone else's boyfriend? Because I'm not sure if that's fair. Like you should feel like, if you feel like you're settling, you really should dissect and unpack why you feel that way. Because if the checklist is stuff that is basically having to do with comparisons instead of stuff that actually affect your relationship, then there's definitely a
Wow, that's a really good point. 'Cause,
Comparison is the thief of joy.
You could be comparing and being like, well, this person's about to get engaged and they got this and they got this. And that's why I'm selling. But those are like superficial things.
Exactly.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
superficial.
So it's what? Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
does the person
pinpointing what are you
Yes.
settling in? Like,
Yes.
what do you feel like you're settling in? What
Totally.
category? Because that could stem to so many other
100%.
parts of this.
Yeah. I think it's super important to know, because if you're basing it off of like small, materialistic things or time things or anything like that, then either I don't think you really, love your person, or he's just not the right fit for you. Like
maybe you're at different stages.
Maybe you're at different stages. You know what I mean? But really, my advice would be to unpack why and truly be sure in that. And I think a thing to say as well is like, I don't think you're not settling, because everyone is a joy in their own way, but it's just truly just not the right fit.
It's
yeah,
not a good match.
I think
It's
that's
not
a better way
your
to put
match.
it, right?
Wow,
It's
that's
not
a
your
really
match.
good way
Not
to
your
put it.
match.
It's not that they're like less than. It just means that
Yeah.
you guys aren't compatible.
Yeah.
That's really it. The person can
Truly.
be the most amazing person, and you are the most amazing person. However, 2 + 2 needs to equal 4, and if it's equaling 6 or 8, well, then the math is not mathing. You know what I mean?
The math needs to
Yeah,
math.
the math needs to
Math
math.
is not
Come
mathing.
on.
Period.
Period.
Oh my gosh.
Period.
Bring on the next question. We love
I didn't know
this.
this. Do you like journal? Do you go to therapy? Like where? I feel
No.
like you have so many good thoughts. I'm like, I need to write this down.
I
Like,
literally just came out of me, but like I'm often like doing like gratitude walks and like
Love.
gratitude like
mental checks. Like
mental
you, like,
checks,
yeah.
like manifestation, like chats, like all these different things, because I think gratitude is the foundation to growth. Wow, put that on our
Oh my
shirt.
god, yeah. Trademark that.
Oh, fuck.
Jason Estefanous.
No.
No one else can say that. That's our
I'm
quote.
gonna start a affirmations and advice account.
Oh,
Seriously.
truly.
Oh my god, I love that
I
so much.
love that.
Okay, what else? Okay, this one is kind of goes hand in hand with the other settling one. All my friends are getting married or engaged, and I'm not with a partner, and I feel behind in life. I think that's really, really relatable.
Me.
But it's like,
Wait, did I submit?
I feel like we have a lot of friends right now that are either getting engaged or married, and we also have some single friends that keep being like, I need to find someone, but then they feel almost rushed in the sense of like, and that could go another way. It could be like all your friends are having kids, and you're like, do I need to have kids right now?
Honestly, yeah.
Maybe you're not ready to have kids. So it's okay. I feel like everyone has their own timeline.
Yes.
And you really have to just not compare yourself to other people. Like,
Absolutely.
I don't know. That comparison is like the
Comparison
thief.
is a thief of joy. Like truly. Yeah, you really can't be comparing all the time.
Yeah.
That
You're
is
gonna drive yourself silly.
The second you realize that that's what you're doing, you need to check yourself, because you will be so much happier if you stop comparing and just focus on your route and your path.
Yeah.
Right? Like it is your own time, it is your own mission, it is your own journey, right? And every journey is unique and should be unique, otherwise it wouldn't be your life.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah.
And who says just because someone else is engaged or someone else is married or someone else has kids that they are therefore happier or more content?
Oh.
Do you know what I mean though?
Oh.
But I also feel too, like if you're rushing your timeline,
Yes.
you can't go backwards. So let's say you get married. Yeah, you can have a divorce, but then you're like, oh shit, like I pushed my timeline a little fast.
Yeah.
Let's say you then have kids. And you're like, I actually wasn't ready to
You're
have
just
kids.
rushing these milestones.
Yeah,
like
so
bask in the fact that
Yes.
you're just married, just you
Yes.
two, or that you're like
Yes.
you're still single, or like
Exactly.
You can't
don't
rush
have kids yet.
perfection.
You can't rush it.
You
because-
can't rush perfection.
Yes. So I think like if you're feeling this way, just like take a step back, look at all the good, do some gratitude journaling, think about like what's great in your life, because
honestly, sometimes being like 32 and like I'm like, frig, should I like have kids by now? And then I wake up and it's so fucking quiet in our house, and I'm just like,
Nah.
I'm honestly okay right now.
If
I'm
you don't
honestly
feel
so
the call,
happy.
and if you and Dickie like that's not the
Eventually,
conversation
but
that you're
not-
having right now,
not now.
that's so fine.
Yeah.
You know, like whatever works for you, you know. Sorry, perfect doesn't need to be perfect. Perfect just needs to be perfect for you.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I do
Yeah.
think too, for women, it's so different. Like me and Farza got married at a younger age, and then there was almost this pressure of like, now you're married. What's the next step? And it's like, why can't we just
be married?
Why does it
Right.
have to be what's next?
Yes.
Right.
Like,
No, literally, we got engaged. People
God,
are like,
yeah.
the next day, oh, when's the wedding date? I'm like, we just got engaged.
Yeah.
let's
Like,
just-
I don't know.
Why can't we just enjoy this?
I'm not on the treadmill. Like
Yeah.
like let me walk. Right.
I do my 12-3-30. Like,
Yeah.
hello.
I can't be like running. Let's
Right.
chill out.
No,
Yeah.
100%, and just
So,
enjoy it. Yeah.
Just enjoy
Yeah.
it.
That is
So-
it. That is it.
Okay, I love that. Okay, this one's an interesting one.
Oh boy.
They said, my friend keeps bailing on plans last minute every time we have plans to hang out, but keeps wanting to reschedule. What do I do?
Oh, that's rude. Yeah.
Listen, if okay.
And he's gonna
fool
go
me
in.
once type of thing. You know what I mean? Shame on me, whatever they say. But like let it, the signs are telling you something, right?
Yes.
Once you reach out once or twice and it's not reciprocated or whatever, the ball is now in their court.
Yep.
The ball is now in their court, and if they don't happen to get back to the ball and pass it back, well, damn, I guess you missed a shot, and the game just ended.
Yeah.
They don't get it back and try and do a slam dunk.
Right,
Like,
Yes.
what are we
right,
doing?
right,
No,
right.
Oprah has that saying, when someone shows you who they are.
on, Oprah.
Oh my God, who am I? When someone shows you who they are, like believe them.
Believe
like don't
them.
try to like justify. And be like,
Right.
no, it's because of this. They're showing you those actions.
Yeah.
Just be like, you know what? They don't value my time. They keep
Yes.
bailing on me.
Oh my God, yes, the time.
And then it's also like, okay,
Precious.
if they keep wanting to reschedule and then they keep bailing, then maybe you just say, hey, I'm busy right now and I can't keep rescheduling. Like, I don't have time.
or just put it in their call. Be like,
Yeah.
you know what? Like, you seem to be very busy these days. When you're ready, shoot me a message.
Yes.
And I will make time.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. In their court, done. But you're setting yourself up for disappointment if you're gonna keep falling for the same
thing. Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes too, like I've been in situations where I felt like a friend was kind of using me almost out of like convenience for things. It's like, oh, like I want to hang out, but like, oh, can you come and help me do this? Or like, oh, like, do you want to go to this with me? Oh yeah, but I also need a ride here first. Like it was almost like they were making plans with me, or like, oh, do you want to go here? Yeah, like let's drive together. I felt like it was
Or like you haven't heard from them in a while and they're like, hey, how are you? Also, by the way, do you have something I can borrow? And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I think we're all kind of guilty of that
Yeah.
in some way or
In some way,
another.
yeah.
And like that's not probably our intention, but sometimes the circumstances are just like that.
Yeah.
But
it's more when it becomes repetitive.
exactly,
When it's an ongoing
right,
thing.
right. Like where's the quality?
Yeah.
Where's the quality of the friendship? Right.
Exactly.
It's not so transactional.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Transactional.
Yeah,
Transactional.
yeah.
That's a
good
word.
Yeah, that's the word.
That's a word.
Word
That's
of the day.
word. Hashtag.
Yeah. Hashtag. Okay. My friend is friends with someone who I don't like. Ooh, what do I do? That's hard.
That's hard.
It depends. Like, you
Is it a
don't
best
like
friend
them,
or
you don't like them? Why?
Why?
Because they hurt you,
Why?
or like they did
Yeah.
something fucked up to you. Because
Why?
then it's kind of like, why is your
Why?
friend?
Yeah, you
it's-
definitely have to give your friend the opportunity to make their own assumption. I feel
Yeah.
because I think it's not cute when like someone wants to give like their judgments based on like whatever. If it wasn't my experience, then you know what I mean. I have to respect the person at least. Give them the opportunity to either prove you wrong or to show that you were right, you can be a good friend and say, hey, just a heads up, watch out for this, or like be careful as your friend. I want you to know blah 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 blah. But again, you should not want to impose your thoughts and beliefs on
other
your friend.
people.
Yeah,
that's a really mature way to go about it.
And then if that means like setting boundaries and being like, oh, I can't come to this because this person's
So-and-so's
there and I
there.
don't like them.
Like if it's a party
Yeah.
with like 25 people, it probably doesn't matter. But if it's like, oh, wine down Wednesday, just the 3 of us, it's like,
yeah.
no, maybe I'm gonna pass on this one.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Have fun. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I just
Protect
don't
your
want to make it.
peace.
Yeah, protect your peace and protect their peace too. Like you don't want to be awkward and be the negative energy that is in the setting, right? Because if I don't feel comfortable around that person, it's gonna show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you're going to take away from a good experience for
Are
them.
you one of those people where it's like your face, it's so obvious to how you're
Oh my God,
feeling?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I can't hide it.
Yeah.
I can't hide.
that
Yeah,
too.
I don't have a
I feel like
poker.
we're all like that.
I don't really have a poker face. Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
tell when I'm annoyed. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my God,
immediately.
same.
Immediately.
My friends are like, oh my God, JJ, are you okay? Oh, JJ to the bathroom. Let's go. Let's talk. Let's air out that face. Let's put some water on you.
Oh my God.
That's a good one. Okay. Ooh, how to get your partner to help out more around the house?
Just ask.
Just fucking ask.
Communicate.
Communicate.
Like I don't understand why people are so afraid to have tough conversations.
Yes.
Like if it is your person, you are with that person for a reason. The second you'd be like, babe, can we talk real quick? Or babe, I feel like you've like, getting a little lazy around the house. I feel like I've been doing a lot. Do you want to just do your part, help me out a little bit, just so the tension just doesn't rise? Because then the second
Because
it gets to that point, there's no coming back from like you little.
It's like the tiniest thing you've been holding it in.
The tiniest thing will,
Yeah.
will set you off, and then he's gonna be like,
Yes.
or she or whoever is gonna be like,
Whoa.
you just got mad because I left my shoes on to walk in real quick.
I didn't karate chop the pillow right. Like,
Oh my God, no, honestly, you just
So
took the words out of my
sorry.
mouth because I was going to say, don't let things fester.
Yes.
Because for us,
Not
for
Uncle
example,
Fester, honey,
we will,
yes.
we will literally argue all day.
Festering
Because I
causes
will-
wrinkles.
Yes.
It is not cute. But
Yes.
no, I will literally, like I say this all the time, I'm like, we're constantly bickering. Because I'm like, I would rather get it all
That's
out.
great makeup
I would
sucks
get it all
though.
out than rather like boil it all in and then
No,
one day just
100%.
explode. Like, and he's
100%.
like, what's wrong with
Then
you?
and there.
No.
Then and there. The second you feel some type of way,
You
just
get it out.
address it. Just be like,
let it out.
hey babe, by the way, like, I like, that kind of rubbed me in a way. Like, I just want to let you know, just so it doesn't like whatever. And I know it's easier said than done. If it's not the very first time that he pisses you off, or then the second time.
Yes.
Do not let it hit a
Yeah.
third, fourth, fifth, or sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth,
25th.
10th time. Right? Because after 10th or 9th or 8th or 7,
Yeah.
6, 5, 4, you guys are going to be, there's going to be a fight.
It's going to cause more harm
More
than good.
tension.
And you should have just like
Yeah.
dished it out right away.
Right.
Got over that awkwardness initially
Right,
instead
right,
of letting
right,
it
right,
fester because who knows how long
Yeah.
how long that could have dragged
Exactly.
out for.
Can we edit out all that counting? That was like repetitive. I'm just kidding.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Stop.
Counting with JJ.
Yeah.
A new
On
segment.
Sesame Street. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, this one's actually really good. Okay, so advice for when your love language is opposite to what your partner does. So for example, you want acts of service, but you're getting physical touch.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
What I would give for some
actually.
physical touch. Fuck. Oh, babe, thank you. Oh, careful.
We're just out here petting
Yeah.
JJ.
Oh, pet me.
Oh my God.
That's
good.
interesting.
That's tough because you'd obviously have to have that conversation, but then it's also just like, maybe that person just wants to keep touching you.
Yeah, because how do you change somebody's
so
love
hot,
language?
yeah.
I will say though, like I do love physical touch 100%, but there are some physical touches, and Matt knows this, that like, because I'm a teacher, like the tapping, like I can't. And like, no, I'm serious because I'm tapped touched like all day.
tapped out.
No, I'm serious. It's a real thing.
God.
So it's like,
Swiper, no tapping.
like I like a nice rub, but like a tap or like sometimes even
Oh.
scratching, because
Yes.
if anything is too repetitive,
Yes.
like I'm just get overstimulated.
Okay, yeah.
So Matt knows like what's the right physical touch and like
Love
what is not.
Yeah.
I love that.
So maybe just like modifying those two.
Modifying it.
Yeah. Or just like being honest, being like, listen, I really love words of affirmation. So like, I need you to tell me like,
Yeah.
babe, thank you for dinner. That was so delicious.
Right.
Or like,
Yeah.
wow, like you look so beautiful today. Or like, that was a great idea. Like
Yeah.
just like letting them know,
Yeah.
being communicate.
and like
just telling them.
combining things. Like you can do acts of service and still like be like, here you go. Here's your tea, sweetie.
For sure.
You know?
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
I think just, telling your partner what you like.
What's your love language? Did we
Mine?
talk about this?
Yeah, we did last time.
I think we did, yeah.
You
Yeah.
gift give.
I like gift
Yes.
giving
And you love quality time.
and quality time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what I like to receive, and I'm physical touch. I'm very physical. But yeah, what I like to receive is physical touch and words of affirmation, because I don't want to have to guess how you're feeling, because in the past I've always had to guess, or I was self-doubting, all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, just show me.
Yeah,
Just
I
show
love
me.
that.
Yeah,
Those
show
are
me.
great ones.
Yeah.
I love it. I think we have
Okay.
like time for like maybe 2 more.
Ooh, okay. So this one says, I've lost motivation for things that usually bring me joy, working out or seeing friends. How do I bounce back from this? So it sounds like they're in a bit of a rut, which I feel like we've all
Yeah,
gone through.
we've all
And maybe
been
it's
there.
this 17 long week of January that
The
people are feeling.
The gray zone.
The
yeah.
gray, the lack of sun. Blue Monday was just the other day.
Totally.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's hard. We all have our struggles and whatnot. I think when I go through mine, I almost like talk to myself and be like, listen, bitch,
Honestly,
you
yes.
need to get up.
Yes.
Like, this is
up and
unbecoming
work.
of you. Like, look at your face, go fix it. Like, you need help. So get up, get to the gym, do whatever I need to do to make me and shine like I'm supposed to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever's gonna make you happy. And you know what? If you need like a little extra motivation, message your friend. Be like,
Yeah.
hey babe, like I really need someone to yell at me at the gym. So can we go work out together or something?
Yes.
Accountability. Have a partner.
Accountability is
that's
huge.
so huge, because
Yeah.
you are more likely to let yourself down than someone else.
Yes.
Yes.
People
Right?
pleasers, are we right? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think too, like sometimes you make these long to-do lists and you never get anything done because they look so overwhelming.
overwhelming.
So I would tell you, start with one thing.
Yeah.
Just be
Yeah.
like, gym. That's it.
Yeah.
So then,
I love
Because
that.
then when you do that one thing, maybe you go to the
Yes.
gym and you're like, I'm feeling good. I'm going to clean my house.
Oh my God,
Then
yes.
you're feeling good. Then you're going to do another thing.
Yes.
So just start with one thing a day and then add on to it versus
Yes.
like making this
All of
long
them.
to-do list and then feeling
Overwhelming.
overwhelming.
Yeah. You're
giving
absolutely
up
right. I
before you
love that.
start.
Yeah,
So
that's super good
maybe
advice.
just do a couple
Couple
things
of
like
things.
that.
100%.
agree
I
with
love
that.
that. Thank you.
Yeah. That's
Period.
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 Okay, last one. Oh,
Do we have room for one or two?
Yeah, we got one.
I'm single again. For Valentine's Day, what should I do? Ooh, some date night ideas for like
Solo Valentine's Day.
solo Valentine's
As someone
Day?
who's never had a Valentine,
Valentine's Day is overrated.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It actually kind of
treat yourself because
Yeah.
you deserve a king or queen.
Honestly, that's a good idea. Treat yourself. Like order in like a really nice dinner for yourself.
Decadent meal.
Decadent
Or
meal.
shop till you drop.
Yes.
Shop till you
Put a
drop.
good movie on.
Because you deserve it.
Drink some wine. Maybe.
What
some
about
good
hanging with your
joint.
other friends too that are like
Yeah,
that are
single.
I feel like I would want to have
yeah.
a massive girls' night with like other girlies, like watch those.
Galentine.
Like, yeah,
Valentine.
like Galentine's.
Yeah.
Watch some Real Housewives. Get
Oh my
into
God.
it.
Don't we can have a whole episode on Housewives.
Honestly, we should have an episode next time of like reality TV stuff.
I would
That's
love
funny.
That would be good.
And like just like reacting to some of the moments. Absolutely.
Receipts.
Yeah. Timelines. Oh my
Fucking
God.
everything.
Monica. Oh, God bless.
that. Insane.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, just
well,
putting yourself first, I think, on Valentine's Day.
I love
Just
it.
do it.
love
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely.
So that went by way too fast. I'm so
Wow.
sad.
So fast.
So we just decided that we're gonna have JJ on as a reoccurring guest.
What?
He's gonna come on every few months.
I'd be so honored, you guys.
No, honestly, we need
Gotta
to
give
have
the
you on.
people what they want.
No.
They want JJ, and so do we.
People want
No.
JJ. We want JJ. Everybody wants JJ.
They're
He
so
always,
sweet.
he has the best advice. We just want to know so much about him.
Yeah, I can't wait to listen back on this episode and like take some fucking notes
I'm taking my notes.
because
I need to take some notes from y'all's advice. It was so good. Thank
From
you for
us, from you.
enriching my life, and hopefully my future partner. You are making me a better person with this advice. Thank
we love you so much.
Yeah,
I
we
love
love
you
you.
guys
Never
so
a dull
much.
moment.
Love
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Love you guys.
That's a wrap, y'all.
That's a wrap. Okay, well, we love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, if you guys want any more like advice questions from JJ, just like literally just DM us and we can just send him your questions.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure he'll respond.
I probably will.
next time.
I probably will.
We'll save it for next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Love
bye
you guys.
guys. Love you.
Bye.